Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Final Show Films. I am Sen, your executive producer. I want to thank you all for tuning in. Particularly want to thank our $25 tier supporters over at our Patreon page at patreon.com/fsfilms, those being Jerry and Alexander, Samantha Bates, and Al, without whom we want me to do nearly as much as what we do now. So thank you very much for your support over the years. And those of you that are watching live, please sit back, relax, and enjoy. And we're live. Hello, everybody, welcome back to Exandria Rising. I am Sen, your game master for the evening, and I'm joined this week by Jeremy.
Hi, I'm Jeremy. I'm the drama. I'm playing Ella Farah-Gilrick, who is a water genasi rogue.
And Craig.
Hi, I'm playing Grouper, who is a Fisher Fish Circle of the Moon druid, who never did anything wrong.
That is
And
incorrect.
Trevian.
Drevian, I'm playing Tenebrous, a Gerbine Witch.
And Shani.
Hi, I am Johnny or William. I am not the drama, and I am playing Najka, the half or the orcish craftsman. I try not to sneeze. Goddamn.
Now I'm
Hey.
just picturing Najka with a club hitting somebody, saying, "Not the drama, not the drama, not the drama." I'm glad somebody gets it.
Oh, yep.
I'm just picturing.
It's a dinosaurs reference.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, no, no, I understand that. I was picturing just Alafira running around with like caption over face saying this as drama, and then Najka turning the corner with caption over face says not the drama, and then the drama and not the drama just colliding at the corner.
No, that's how you open a hole to the astral plane.
And Jack.
Hi, I'm playing all three of the good goblins, Meanie Manny, Gesby, and Peas.
Every time you introduce Meanie Manny and then the rest of the good goblins, I want you to just list out the Pet Boys instead, which is just my brain, but you know. We are also joined by Holly, but Holly is not here at the moment. Holly went out to get a vanilla milkshake for Shawnee because it's Shawnee's birthday. Happy birthday, Shawnee! Woo!
Happy birthday.
I was contractually forbidden from singing on stream.
Yes, because
So
your voice
I
is
would
too
like to wish
powerful
you a
for our audio.
very
codecs.
mindful, very demure happy birthday.
There we go. Perfect. Ideal.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, I needed that.
Ideal.
I needed that laugh.
God, I had another joke, and then you just like pulled the rug out from underneath the entire conversation. Oh, right. That wasn't even a joke. It was something for only for Johnny and Jack, which is that it took all of my willpower to call it a vanilla milkshake and not a vanilla muskrat.
Oh. It has to be a sensual vanilla muskrat.
You mix sensual vanilla with sensual muskrat. Anyways,
I'm not sure what I was expecting.
Specific jokes for specific folks. Anyways. Why?
Sensual muskrats are hard to come by in this part of the country.
Sorry, there's a bit of a shadow on the map. I'm actually gonna look up the roll 20 map just because why not? But there's a shadow on the map, right here, and I was trying to figure out why one of the shadows from one of Davina's arch windows was so far away from her room, and I realized that there actually are wall pillars there on the ruined wall there. It's just I was really confused for a moment. anyways, for anyone watching live, the Bastion map is now workable enough for you to look at it. Congratulations. I made this for them because I'm insane. There's more to this map. It's just off screen.
It is wildly impressive.
It
Yeah.
It really is.
I-
That is
I-
a hell of a lot of work.
I made a huge. I made the entire like coastline of the section where the Bastion is at, and then cropped it down to just the immediate section of the Bastion that you'd be using, so that when you inevitably expand as you level up, all I have to do is pull the camera back as on the map and then add more things in. I don't have to build a whole new map.
Future planning.
Yes. Prior planning prevents poor performance. And
Did you add the second library in?
I did not add the second librarian yet because I forgot. Because I finished this map and thus it was categorized in my brain as being finished and went away. I still need to add the second library. It's just gonna be literally just gonna be I'll ping it for everybody. It is going
Attached to the first one?
Yeah, it is going to be
I can't see any of this.
Okay.
There. That's because you're in a room. If you move your tokens around, you can see stuff.
Yeah, but I don't particularly want to put the tokens in all the different places in an attempt to see what people are talking about.
Fair. Although Fog of War or Explorer mode is on, so when you move through places, it'll stay visible.
Yeah, it'll
just
stay
darkened
there.
out.
It's just it'll be shadowed.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Anyways, back to booth. Oh, and Holly's back, I believe, so I can pull the door away.
Come out of the closet,
Nope,
Holly.
it's just Holly's clone.
Holly, go ahead and introduce yourself and your character.
Hi, I'm Holly. I am playing something.
Allegedly.
I'm playing Davina. She is a mystic silky folk.
And when last we left off, having now just gotten distracted by the map and everything, the group had finished putting together Bastion and getting their hirelings in place and had just taken their first Bastion turn. And we'd gone over the mechanics of that. And then we ended with Elafira stoutly declaring that there was absolutely nothing to worry about with this turtle that was sitting there fishing with Grouper while the camera panned down to show her tightly clenching a pencil in her fist until it snapped.
There's nothing to worry about at all. Because worrying implies that this person could disappear if things go the wrong direction.
As Elafira reaps the consequences of what she has sown.
Did I tell you this character is playing a chaotic evil arc?
Yeah.
Oh no.
The best part is this is literally Craig's fault. Anyways,
Surprise, motherfuckers. I'm the drama.
Yeah, but you're not wrong.
so you have set your Bastion workers to work. You have determined that there is no other access point to this wall. That is this pre-calamity ruin wall that you've found on one side of the building.
At least not without digging.
At least not without digging. Yeah, without excavation. And you have secured the location for the time being. What are
SB
y'all up
painted
to?
it.
What'd you paint on the wall?
Our tag.
Yeah, which I still need to
Oh.
digitize so I can put it in the 20.
Yeah. She painted it all extra detailed because she had time to do that. But it's a mural of our waterfall logo.
All right.
Honestly, at this point, the next step might actually legitimately be excavation because we have no leads on any other pre-calamity ruins, and this one is sitting right here.
Well, you don't.
The good goblins do.
Whether or not they're going to tell anybody about it is up to them.
Mhm.
Well,
Doesn't the sea dragon also have a lead that we ran off?
I
The
don't
the sea
think
dragon
s-
the sea dragon did mention that it knew of Corlin McLee right before it tried to eat Grouper. I don't know if Grouper
I feel
cared to
like we
share that
didn't
part.
need that lead that badly.
I think I would have over the course of the next week. I was a little focused on not dying at that point.
So yeah, we'll start with that. We'll say that you are at some point during the week of putting the bash together, you've all stopped to uh, 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 eat food, and if you'd like to bring that up now, Grouper, you can.
Remind me exactly what it's. It was just something
So
like,
you
"Oh,
asked
I've
you asked it if it knew if it had ever heard of Corlin McLee. You said that you were from
Uh,
Corlin McLee.
correct. That was it. He introduced
And-
himself by his full name
Yeah.
and title.
Yeah, and then it basically said that it had heard of that place but not of you.
Right.
And then you try to get more information out of it, and then it tried to eat you.
Yes, that was correct.
Which might not be relevant to anything, but just if it is, that was the time. So,
Who has the kitchen? Somebody has a kitchen.
No, let's go.
Okay.
technically, you all do because the kitchen is a
Yeah,
it's,
like
it's a
the-
basic
the-
facility. There's no staff for it.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
just
The,
yeah.
the basic facilities are shared.
Um, are we eating collectively out on the veranda by?
Najka is one of the people with cook's utensils proficiency though, and with
Okay.
access to those tools.
Cool.
So yeah, you do have a dining hall, but if you want, you do have a dining room. But if you want to eat on the floating platform, you can as well.
Oh wait, do we have a separate dining room?
Yes.
Yeah, there's a kitchen and a dining room.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, didn't we have that?
It's that. It's there.
All right. Well, we'll do it in the, I guess, in the dining room. Are we collectively getting together for meals, or are people coming and eating together, or are people
It's probably
dodging them?
I would imagine it's probably a variant, but for
Yeah.
convenience.
Some of column A, some of column B.
So
Yeah.
we
It's
can
prob- it's
all
probably-
be here for this conversation.
It's probably a day by day kind of thing of whether or not they get together for meals.
I could definitely see Gatsby every so often going from person to person and say, "Hey, we should all have dinner together tonight."
Gruber would get in on
On
that for sure.
occasion.
Would help you out with that. Well, can we say it's one of those then, for
Sure.
convenience's sake? We're all together. Okay. So with that being the case, partway through dinner, Gruber will say, "So I've been thinking about this. I think it happened. I don't think anybody else heard because I was, trying to stall, give everybody time to get to the ships and whatnot. But what was the name of the dragon? It had like a draconic name, and I feel like also a punchier name, the Typhoon or something. The Devouring Typhoon.
Bash?
Yaltahum Alisar, or the devouring typhoon. Yes.
Okay. But
That's the humanoid typhoon you're thinking of, Jack.
Yeah, not particularly draconic.
the Devouring Typhoon mentioned that it had heard of Corlin Mickley. So could just be something that's more commonly known to denizens of the water, but just thought I should bring it up.
And
Did it
this
really-
was the dragon that you swam toward
Yes,
and
it was
tried
the
to
dragon.
eat you.
Yes.
I just want to make sure. I was still in the house, remember?
Yeah, I remember.
So I just
How
want to
would we
make
follow
sure.
up on that?
He didn't leave his contact info, so I don't think we should follow up with the typhoon, to be clear. It seems like the kind of thing that we may want to pay attention to and maybe bring up if we meet others.
Aye, it's a possibility that perhaps there are other denizens of the ocean that might know more.
I agree. And honestly, turns and looks at Tenebris. Tenny, I hope you're okay with this. I didn't really have a chance to coordinate, but I kind of felt like with what it seems like's going on in Coral and Mickley, kind of felt like maybe sending a dragon towards it wasn't the worst idea in the world.
Assuming you want the dragon to then take Corin and Mickley as its own.
Is that where the dragon went?
I don't know. I figured if I mentioned it, maybe it would, I don't know. I was trying to think on my flippers,
There are only two places in the water. Here and Corlin McLean. There are no other places that the dragon could go to.
This is okay. You don't have to come for Grouper that directly.
I mean, maybe it'll spark something going on with Corlin and Mickley. Maybe it'll just solve the dragon problem.
Yeah, I mean that's it. And if it goes there and if it gets rid of whatever else is, and it goes there and it gets rid of what's in Corlin and Mickley. I mean, I don't necessarily think it's going to go there, but if it does, and it has managed to get out whatever's there, I mean, it was pretty scared of the cannons, so it seems like, then we have a dragon solution, or it just goes there and it gets eaten. I don't want it coming back here, he says, pointing to his plate.
Well,
yeah, that would be bad.
In more practical approaches, perhaps if at some point we meet, I don't know, a village of Tritons that live somewhere in the ocean, we might be able to ask them questions if we ever encounter that.
Oh, that'd be nice.
That brings up a good question, though. What are we doing next? Because we're not going to encounter a community of Tritons hanging around this place.
Well, are we still waiting for someone to show up and tell us what to do?
I mean, at the moment,
because it's getting kind of boring.
No.
If we're looking for, as far as the torchbearers go, we know that they're looking for pre-calamity ruins, and I don't have any leads on any pre-calamity ruins other than the one that's right here by this keep. So if no one's got a better idea, I'm kind of leaning towards starting digging into the cliffside and seeing if I can find a door.
We know where one is.
A door?
No, the ruins. And a door, I think. But not for this one. We'd have to head towards Kaimo.
Oh.
It's not near the water, but we do have someone who might be able to help us out with what's going on with Tenebris, and I'm hoping that if we can get help with that, it might help us with Coral and Mickley too, because they seem linked somehow.
I mean, I'm not opposed to it. Is that the ruin near Kaimo? Is that where? And he just kind of is Martin Victoria in the room?
No, Martin Victoria's been left. Martin Victoria spent pretty much the entire week in the Goblin's room.
So he just sort of gestures vaguely in what he's fairly sure is the direction of the workshop.
Oh. They'll nod. Yeah, that's.
Oh. Okay.
So. Sorry, go ahead.
Me? No, I was done. I was done. He was just sort of awkwardly finishing.
There are, God, any number of pre-calamity ruins out there. Sure, we know of one. But we don't know.
We also know that the torchbearers were here looking for this one.
Right. But we know of two.
I would like to suggest that it's really boring to just sit here and dig stuff up. And we've got like a lot of people here who could probably work on that. And I don't want to, it sounds boring.
I mean, I I I hear that. I just am a little worried. What if we leave them digging into it, and then a bunch of things come pouring out?
We've had to unlock all the doors.
So what I would suggest, like I said, we know these two. We don't know which ones they know, except for yes, probably this one. Probably, maybe. That could be why they were here. We don't know. We didn't get to question any. What about, and I realize that this won't be necessarily much more exciting to some people. They're getting money from somewhere.
Trying to find out who's financing them.
Find out who's financing them, and then we can find them directly and not have to run from dig site to dig site, hoping that we run into them at one of these places.
Do we have any leads on that?
No, but we haven't looked.
I mean, do we have anywhere to start? Is my particular question there.
My guess would be Amon. If you're going for somewhere where secret organizations are trying to get money, it's gonna be Amon probably. Amon, maybe Craig Hammer.
Firen
But
will,
like
Firen will chime in. And I mean, if we're going to Amon, then that's kind of both points towards the good goblins and points towards you. That's both your objectives, isn't it? Because we'll have to pass through
Little
Kyle
bit.
on the way.
As I say, Kymel's on the road to Imon.
I mean,
that's
unless we
true.
want to
That-
go the long way around. But
Yeah, it's like that's assuming we don't sail there.
that's that'll take.
That's gonna take
I think,
forever.
right? That'll be quite a while if we were to sail south.
Can we look at
rather
the
than
world
this
map real
peninsula.
quick?
Yeah, I was about to ask the same
Yep,
thing.
I was about to
Because
ask in
I have no idea where
in
any
the
of
process of pulling you over to it.
in character. Grouper leans over to Tenebris and goes, "Do you have a map?"
Oh, fuck yeah, no. Sailing to
Yeah,
Imon would be going
Firen-
all the way around the
Firen-
southern half of the
There,
continent.
as opposed to all the way around.
Firen just reaches
here.
up to the wall and pulls the map of
Bet.
Taldori that's been hanging
Bet.
on the wall there.
I like.
And
Please tell me that it's like in a elementary school kind of like roll down thing.
No, it's just like there's just like one pinned to the wall, visible to everyone, but because it's on the table, no one can see it. So he just reaches up,
Yeah.
grabs it, and puts it down on the table.
Like, there are other places they could get money. I'm assuming it's not Singorn because we found.
If you're looking for the wealthiest places in Taldori, at least, if they're not getting money from elsewhere, we're looking at Imon, Kymel. Kymel's a trade hub. There's lots of money going through there constantly.
Right.
And honestly, if I were trying to gather money that I didn't want people finding, I'd bet on Kymel because it's a lot easier to hide your money there than it is in Imon. Craghammer, if you're in with the doors. If you're not in the
And
doors,
potentially a place if you are.
Yeah.
I mean, people who know underground stuff.
and Whitestone.
Yeah.
I don't think Singorn would be particularly interested, but Singorn is another option if we're running out of things. If they're being financed from within Taldori, but if they're being financed from Marquette or Wildmount, your options just go through the roof.
Right.
And
Are
we can
not
probably
to
strike.
too
We can
fine.
probably strike Whitestone off the list because I don't feel like Lord Percival or Lady Vixalia would allow this organization to exist, and without them finding it out in
remember,
Whitestone.
They're
Unless they don't know.
by and large to the world, they're a charity organization, not
Yeah.
people that are
Yeah,
doing
but
heinous
we're
shit.
being tasked with investigating them
Aye,
by.
aye. But what that means is if they're getting money from Whitestone, they're not necessarily having a presence in Whitestone.
Hmm. Fair enough.
There have been, to put this the most polite way I can say, I think at least what we've seen of the torchbearers is too diverse for Singorn.
You're not wrong.
Why is that?
Anyone who would like to that doesn't have extensive knowledge of the world of Taldor can make a history check.
I don't have extensive knowledge.
So you can make me a history
There
check.
are non-elves there. There are non-elves in the group.
That is an appropriate role for something as inland as that.
Yeah, grouper, no idea. Good goblins, honestly, you've been really focused. Like most of your activity in Taldor has been focused in and amongst Kymel, so you don't really have an idea of where money flows other than Kymel. Kymel is very wealthy. It's just
I know
that
it flows in Kymel.
It's wealth, but it's continually like moving wealth rather
It
than
moves real
situated. Yeah.
fast in Kymel.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
it comes and goes. So as much as as much as anything else, Kymel seems like a good lead for you. Tenebris was 23, having sailed around a bit. Yeah, there. Singorn is an elven city, and elven, capital E, monolithically elven city. They do trade with the outside world, not a lot, not very often, and typically, if you're not an elf, they don't want anything to do with you. Craghammer is much more likely than Singorn, but more likely than Craghammer is Amon. And you don't really have enough of a financial background. Like you're not a banker, you're a shipwright. So you're not really certain who, like, what would be more likely. You figure probably talking to one of the financial institutions of Kymel or Amon might be a good place to start.
All right. Well, shall we?
Kymel first on the way to Iman potentially.
Yeah, I was going to suggest planning a route. I would say potentially take a smaller boat up the Fortimere waterway to the Silver Cut roadway.
I like that idea.
Our
How-
ship's too big. Our ship's too big to cross the river, but we could take a smaller boat.
Right.
I was gonna ask how deep keeled it was, but yeah.
Yeah, no, the ship is far too wide. The from what you can tell just by looking outside, the Fortimere waterway is a it's a crevasse. It's narrow. Honestly, you might not be able to take a boat up it either, depending on how big the boat is and depending on how the waterway curves. It might be raft size more than like riverboat.
I mean, riverboat is like 4 feet wide. It's not like that big.
Do we still have our raft, or was that a
That
rental?
doesn't mean that the riverboat can go.
The difference between a raft and a riverboat is depth.
Do we still have our Stilben raft?
No, that was a swamp, like skiff. That was a skiff reading across the swamp, and you did not carry it across Stilben and out.
Oh well, a fish can dream.
So options are you can trek up the Fortimere waterway to the basin. Anyone wants to give me a nature check actually while you're thinking about potential paths, while I grab a book.
Man, 13 with a +9. Not great.
15.
Also 16.
22.
It makes sense. We've probably both been to Kymel.
Yeah.
What if we looked for a caravan we could hitch a ride with?
We're a bit away from any main trade routes. I mean, we could theoretically cut northeast
Stilben's
of the
right
Silver
around
Cuts.
the way.
Yeah, we they're right. We could absolutely just go to the Silver Cut roadway and do that. My concern is people.
Yeah.
Well, there's going to be people once we get to Kymel, so
Well, yes, but we can. It's different people.
there's different people in lots of places. You're very astute.
The big thing, I can probably assuming that the waterway is, generally considering it's a river from a lake going into the ocean, more than 5 feet deep. I can probably build us a river boat that can get us up to the basin and up to the roadway.
Oh.
A
The
little
problem is we
faster
haven't
than-
been. The GM has not told us that it is. The GM has told us that it might not be.
That's why the GM is getting a book and waiting
Yes.
and going to look at your nature rolls in a moment.
Yep,
Because
legit.
the GM has not looked at the Formir Basin in a minute. So hang on. I think there's a reason why you can't take a boat up the river, but let me check real quick.
Yeah. What, the dividing planes? Yeah.
Yeah. It's not. Yeah, it's.
Okay, no, it's relatively
Yeah.
flat. Yeah, I was trying to make sure.
It
that it
used
wasn't
to be an ice. It used to be covered in ice.
Yeah, it used to be covered in
It
ice,
is not
exactly.
anymore.
So yeah, with not one for the goblins, which makes sense. 16 for Najka and Elfira, 22 for Drevian, 14 for Holly, 13 for Cooper. All right, so with the 16s for Elvira and Najka, the biggest trouble with the waterway is navigating it. It is not unnavigable, but you're going to be going up up the river rather than down the river, and from here to about halfway to the basin is rapids, and going against rapids is very, very difficult on a boat. Because it's coming down, it's shifting through a mountainous region where elevation is constantly changing, and so the water gets really rough to navigate until you get past the mountains around Alset Bay. So that's where the difficulty lies going upriver. For Drevian, once you get past that, it's probably fairly smooth sailing up the river. And you know that the once you get to the basin itself, basically navigating anywhere in central Tal'Dorei amongst the dividing plains is pretty easy from there. So the hardest part is just getting up to the basin, and then from there, pretty smooth sailing.
And yeah, getting anywhere from the basin out of its tributaries is probably easier than just getting to the basin.
Right. Yeah. That's your biggest issue at the moment. You'll be going. It's also that it's not none of that is traveled. This isn't a trade route. No one takes the Four-Way Waterway out to Alset Bay. So it's it's uncharted, and you don't know what's going to be waiting you out there. If you take a road, you know what's going to be waiting for you there: bandits and highwaymen. That's the standard. Those are the standard two difficulties for a road: is bandits and highwaymen. And if you're in a large enough, well-defended caravan, they leave you alone. If you're going through the former waterway, you don't know what's going to be waiting for you. That's the other thing.
I know what you meant by standard two difficulties, but it does sound like when you're selecting the difficulty to go on the road, which will I pick?
Well, I mean, it kind of is. That's the difficulty you're picking when you're deciding how much money you're spending on your caravan.
Yeah.
Am I picking no guards difficulty, new low-level adventurers difficulty, or seasoned veterans difficulty? Should I pay the
I'm
extra
pro.
for
I'm
dragon
pro
insurance?
waterway.
The good goblins are pro caravan.
My biggest problem is that we're going to be spending a lot of time going up the Silver Cut to get to Western and then taking it over to the crossroads to get to Kaimel. Versus heading up the waterway will cut the distance traveled.
Well, it sounds like figuring out a way to get up that river is going to take us a while too, and so will whatever it is that's on the way.
You're not wrong, but also we've got multiple people in the party who can help make traveling by water easier in one
I was
way
about
or
to say, our
another.
party is particularly disposed to aquatic environments.
And we won't, Grouper won't have to worry about bringing extra transportation accommodations along as much.
I'm actually I appreciate the thought, but I do want to point out I've gotten a lot better about that kind of thing. I've figured out ways to spend a lot of the day in different forms that are actually pretty much okay out of the water. And then when I do need to dip in, I can either pull it out of the air or just, if things get real bad, I can just create some.
You do know, Elefira and Najka. So maybe not Najka, but Elefira definitely would know, and the good goblins would also possibly have the idea that Western as a stopping point might not be a bad thing either. Western isn't going to give you financial information necessarily because it is a trade town. It's not like a big trade. That's not its big thing. Western might get you information though. Everybody and every story passes through Western at some point.
Yeah, that might not be a thing that Najka's fully aware of because she didn't.
Yeah, no. Actually, no. You would have had to have passed through Western to get to Whitestone.
Possibly. I was assuming that she might have just ended up at No, yeah, actually, if she went from Stillben, she would have gone through Western to get to the Whitestone.
Like I said, everybody and
Yeah.
everything ends up going through Western. It's sort of a central. It's sort of a central like bypass town.
Most of us have probably been through Western.
Anybody that has traveled anywhere in the country, in the continent beyond Stillben, has been through Western at one point in time. It's sort of a must. So, like I said, you might not find financial information, but you might find other information.
That said, the good goblins are willing to accept that line of reasoning.
There's a lot of value in both.
Also, you can make money as caravan guards. You can't really make money as waterway explorers.
I mean, yeah,
You're not wrong.
It's a matter of whether we're favoring expediency or opportunity at that, because we'll have more opportunities to learn things, make some money, do things, taking the roads, but it's going to take us longer.
I mean, she's not saying it, but a big reason why she's not she's kind of down on the road travel thing is the notion of, oh, we can just be caravan guards, because no. That's guard work. That is not me work.
Well, then maybe you don't sign up as a guard.
She's not saying that, but that is sort of where
that's in her thought process. Yeah.
I am enjoying the image.
Are we
of
in a hurry
else.
though?
I am enjoying the idea of everyone else working as guards and Elefira just passenger, just like lounging on a
that
cart,
is
watching the rest of you walk.
100% what'll happen.
No, I love it too.
I'm just thinking like, oh, Tenebris tries to sign up to be a guard and then gets rejected.
That's hilarious.
I mean,
what do you mean I got flat feet?
To a certain extent, like we're not like on like a if we don't do this in the next week the world ends kind of time crunch, but we do want to try and catch up to what the torchbearers are trying to do before they do anything dangerous.
Yeah, they're not sitting back and waiting, and not to put too fine a point on it, but answers for some of us are
Well-
not going to come any quicker if we go slow.
I'll go either way, but I would like to point out that we're not going to be hearing much about the torchbearers from listening to the trees
Yeah.
and the rocks.
That's what I say. It's the balancing point that we're standing at is expediency, taking our time up, going up the river and getting to Kaimo faster, or opportunity, what we might hear on the road and what we might learn in Western.
Firen will chime in. I will say, we don't know what it is they're doing, to be clear, or how quickly they'll be able to do it. It's easily possible that whatever their goal is, they'll achieve it tomorrow, and we're already too late. Or it'll be years off, and we've got plenty of time.
Absolutely. You're not wrong.
It would be nice to be proactive rather than reactive. Sorry.
Yeah, no. That exactly. Because you're not wrong, but that kind of thinking doesn't necessarily.
Well,
to be clear, what I mean by
What
that
are we
is-
being proactive about? What action are we taking that is proactive?
What I mean by
Not
that
What is
sitting
it
on
that
our-
we're doing to get in their way? Do we even have enough information to know how to get in their way yet?
That's what.
I don't-
That's why we're
I don't
heading.
think we have.
That's
Yeah,
why we're heading out. That's why we're going.
but rushing past the people who have the information does not seem like a proactive choice when we don't know enough to actually be proactive yet.
I am if we want to go
Firen,
Western,
you've been
is
trying
not
to
a.
say something for the past 2
Sorry.
minutes.
I don't know. Let Elfir finish.
I'm not opposed to, because Western is not a bad idea at all. Like that has pushed that particular route up in my thinking. I'm kind of 50-50 at this point. I have a strong vote either way, or I vote strongly for both.
I'm gonna go along with whatever Najka decides, obviously. But my own thinking, dear, is that if we don't know anything, rushing to a place that might have some information, bypassing several places that might have more information, seems like we're shooting ourselves in the foot before we start. Might as well go slow and investigative rather than going fast and missing clues. Is my 2 cents.
It's a fair point.
So ultimately, what we need to do is split into 3 teams
Aye, yeah.
and have multiple week excursions
One
in
team,
those 3 teams.
one team goes to Western, one team goes to Marquette, and the others just roam around Taldori for a while.
Yeah,
honestly, I actually like that idea, because that would really give the smaller groups, it would all really give us like a lot of time to sit and just talk, have really in-depth conversations separately.
Hey.
But it would all be at the same time, so it's not like it would take up more time somehow to have 3 separate conversations
Oh, aye.
in separate places.
You'd get
No
so
way
much
that
done
can go
so much
wrong.
faster. And you know what? Communicating by letters is this group's strong point, so I'm sure we'll be on topic with everyone.
Hey,
Hey,
Just because
I
she's
think that's
bad at it doesn't
simultaneous.
mean I'm
that's
bad
a
at
low
it.
blow.
I do like the idea that it is simultaneous.
it
A,
is simultaneous
from
from
both
Ella
Group
and Group.
Rhino
Like,
Fire just holds his hands out.
Meanwhile, Davina's just laughing.
I still write letters weekly. Thank you very much.
me
I
too.
said it was.
I just
I said it was your strong suit.
don't.
He wasn't
Maybe
being
put
sarcastic.
everything in them.
He does not have a sarcastic bone in his body. I have to do all the sarcasm for both of us.
Well, then he stumbled face first onto it, didn't he?
I'm good at that.
Yeah, not touching that. So,
First time for everything.
I'm pretty certain there's more than the first time that Edifier hasn't
yeah, we
touched
should
me.
go the road route.
I'm kind of leaning that way. I'm kind of getting the point. So shall we? All in favor of cutting northeast of the Silver Cut and taking the way out to Western.
Yep.
Let's do it. You get 3 votes from the goblins.
Honestly, it's going to get. I've noticed that there's a bit of a mountain path out behind the keep that heads towards Stilben that looks like it hasn't been used in decades. So clearing it out on the way might be good for us too, just so we don't have things lurking.
Hey,
in
that
the
would open up a
mountains.
bit of a trade route for our bastion to be able to travel to Stilben more easily.
Do we have a cart or a wagon or anything? I mean, I can if we can get something with wheels, I can pull it for several hours a day, but
I've got enough stuff around here. I can make something with wheels if need be.
We may want to clear the.
Okay.
We may
I
want to
think
clear
we
the
can
road.
wait that long.
We want to clear the road before we make a cart. Honestly, just because if it's impossible, we don't want to have to break down or carry something that we've already built that we've spent time making.
to maybe clear the path, pick up a cart in Stilben.
Pick up a cart or join a caravan.
Sounds like a plan.
Works for me.
All right. Well,
Yeah.
I guess let's make sure all of our staff know what we're doing and what their orders are for the next little while, and make preparations to head out in the morning.
But maybe take a couple days just in case, but make sure everything goes smooth. Because this is a few days back from now, so
Did
Yeah,
Tenebris or
we'll make sure that everything's in order before we take off.
did Tenebris or Davina vote at all?
Tenebris's vote is to take the long way on the ship.
This is taking a long way all the way around the southern end of town.
I'm
already.
sorry, Tenebris, you're
love
over
that.
fucking ruled.
That one's outvoted.
You lose, but I love that you voted
Yes.
for it.
It's
Yes.
adorable, but
You are absolutely allowed to vote for that. You are outvoted.
I mean, Kenny, you got a point. If we were only going there, I would say let's go too, because we can take our cannons, we can take our hammocks, all the good stuff's on the ship. But if we got to stop other places, yeah, sorry. Vina, what about you? You've been real quiet.
Whatever you just said did not come through the mic.
You might be muted.
sorry, that was too quiet. We can take the road, she says.
I mean, you have any thoughts one way or the other?
Road is fine.
no thoughts, head empty.
Group will reach out for her hand
She'll take his hand.
and give it a little bit of a squeeze. Try to read her face. Should I roll insight?
If you want.
Yeah.
My fucking rolls today. 14.
Well, her face says.
Who needs to roll well?
Her face says smooth, color beige. Up to you, Ollie. What do you think you get on a 14?
14. She gets in these moods sometimes. She's just being kind of quiet, but she seems okay.
Not hiding up, strong opposition to this path.
No, she's not. No.
Also, your southern came out when you said 14.
What, mine?
Is that me or son?
No, Holly's.
Sorry. That's been happening a lot lately. I slipped
So-
into the full southern accent the other
So,
day.
it would be
Why?
about
You don't have to apologize for
No,
it.
it's great.
it
It's
would be about a
I'm-
3,000-mile trip on over the water. As opposed
Well, we
to
outvoted that one anyway, so it's fine.
Yeah, no, I'm just
and just wants to see
Okay.
for
I'm just measuring.
Okay, but I mean, I will also point out historically there are reasons that people sailed down around the entirety of South America and then back up just to get to the west coast of the US, because sometimes that's a lot easier than walking through, and we don't even have dragons and
that is
trolls.
true.
Yeah.
It'd be under 500 miles to take it up the river, just over 650 miles to take the road, and 3,000 to go around.
Well, that's going just to Iman.
But we also don't have sea dragons or dragon turtles, or allegedly we don't have krakens.
I will also point out that there's also a reason why we dug the Panama Canal.
Also that.
The Strait of Magellan
yeah,
is
eventually,
treacherous.
but people did it
But
first.
it took us a long time.
Yes.
There's a reason why so many people are still, I don't know why I'm pointing up, but there's a reason there's so many people are still frozen in the ice up trying to find the Northern Passage,
Yep.
other than just like, well, let's go west.
For just one.
Anyways, but yes, it would be significantly longer to get to him on a ship than on foot, honestly. And these are traveled paths, and none of you are carrying cargo.
Which is very different from the Oregon Trail.
Yeah, this is.
Which was not so much traveled as died upon.
It was traveled by corpses ahead of you. Anyways.
Trail was blazed by the dead, and the dead keep it.
So.
That's so dramatic.
You finish. You take a few days.
Bastardization of a Lord of the Rings quote.
Yeah.
It's fantastic. I love it.
You take a few days.
More history should be taught as if it were Lord of the Rings.
Just rewrite all history books in
U.S. history as taught by J.R.R. Tolkien.
In Tolkien-esque prose. Anyways.
There are parts of that history that are going to get problematic.
No, because here's the problem with that. People don't remember, people don't absorb their history lessons when it's said in 2-syllable words.
But people remember every aspect of the Silmarillion, even though it is overly complicated and overly described.
For the most part,
and not even
only the same
to know.
people who absorb their history lessons.
That's fair, yeah.
All I could think of is like U.S. history is taught by J.R.R. Tolkien. Half of it's just description of trees.
Also,
I would be so down for that. Can I tell you how much more I would have liked history class if we spent like half the time discussing trees?
All right, everyone, we're going to start off. The first semester and a half is going to be entirely about the yeoman farmer, especially the short ones.
So, you take a few days to get your business in order in the Bastion, and then cut through the mountain pass behind the keep. Who would like to give me a survival roll while you navigate this extant but
will it help me in
unused
my
path?
tree history class?
I would like to roll.
I would as well.
I am not a survivalist.
So not a survivalist. That's why I want to roll.
I'll guide
I'm not
myself.
either, but I've rolled it a bunch, so I'm gonna keep rolling it.
10.
17.
I like
I
how
will
I
let
asked
Gruber-
who, and then you all rolled without actually letting me pick the person rolling.
Nashka did not.
I thought we could.
Oh,
I thought
I
we could
didn't
all
know
roll.
you
My
wanted
bad.
to pick the person rolling.
I did. That's why I asked.
Oh,
Well,
we can.
I thought that
re-roll
was an
to decide.
invitation to roll.
One of you is going to roll a survival check because you're leading the way through a canyon, and it's fairly easy to not get lost. This is to see how well you navigate the obstructions that are within it. To clear the
Not
debris.
me. I haven't looked at my result. Just not me. I have a +0.
So,
I
decide amongst
still
yourselves.
want to roll, but
Grouper is our survivalist.
Yeah, definitely grouper.
yeah, I still want to. Ella's still gonna make the case because he's feeling pissy.
I feel for Jeremy to roll just because it's more dramatic that way.
Thank you.
I don't want to die.
Gatsby and
Don't
Meanie
die.
Manny are going to agree with you. and try to keep you busy while Grouper makes the roll. Oh, absolutely, you should be making the roll. You're so good at this. Grouper, have you finished yet?
I like that. I
working
like
on it.
the
Keep him talking.
notion.
Keep him
I like the
talking.
notion that in character, it's yes, you should make the roll.
Just break the fourth wall.
It's a roll of the
Also-
dice.
Just handing
Also,
off your,
perception
dice.
is my dump stat, so I am very easily distracted. So go ahead and roll.
Wisdom is your dump stat, which is interesting for an investigator.
Hey,
Damn.
intelligence.
Yeah, wisdom and intelligence are both useful for investigators. Anyways, so like majority groupers. So grouper, go ahead and give us a survival check.
All right,
Now
I
you
am
can
guiding
do it and give yourself a
myself.
guidance. Yes.
Even worse.
Holy
This
shit!
is the punishment for not listening to me earlier.
No, well, I've been retroactive. Yeah, and another one. So 12.
You should have let me roll. I'm gonna
No,
roll now.
you would have rolled that exact same number,
No,
but with no bonus. So it would have
I rolled
been...
2 digits. Yeah,
you
there
rolled
we go.
worse.
Yes.
Hey, I was gonna say, I rolled 2 digits. That is default better than what Jeremy was gonna roll.
Mine is the fun result.
Yeah, that is
my
absolutely true.
goodness.
I got the boring result.
You did-
12
Yes.
is not interesting.
I mean, I don't know. It depends on that depends on what scale you're looking at, and y'all don't know what scale I'm looking at.
I mean, I would say, can Ella just help Grouper, but that's not happening right now.
No.
So.
I mean, like I'm not saying I got a good result because I didn't. I'm just saying it's not
Yeah,
not like
okay.
heroically great or hilariously bad.
So grouper? We're gonna have you designate this real quick, just because I think it's because you made the roll. You're not necessarily traveling in a single file line because it's not that narrow of a path. It's just really rocky and there's lots of debris and stuff that has to be cleared away. So you're moving slower than you would if the road was clear, but also you're taking your time. You're looking around. You're making sure there's not anything more dangerous than just debris and dirt and rocks and stuff. So grouper, who is it that you turn to ask a question of, and realize that they have just fallen into a hole as you begin to ask?
I feel like if I'm at the front, I feel like Shawnee's probably. I mean, like Najka's probably right behind me, right? Like that would be the sort of. I feel like
Could be
that would be
Najka,
our
could be
military
Fyron.
discipline.
Maybe worm.
Tenebrous is just hopping along the rocks.
Worm has been spending the
Let's-
week
I feel like it's.
glued to P's side.
I feel like it's Najka or Fyron probably. Are they together or would they be split up?
They're usually walking together.
No,
until someone draws their
don't
attention.
split up. We can't handle that much more drama.
So then, of the two of them, who would you be turning to?
Najka.
you.
It would be Najka.
Yeah.
Obviously, it would be Najka.
So
Sorry.
you turn to ask Najka a question, and Najka, you hear Grouper in the moment before you realize you're falling.
She's like,
Make a dexterity save.
not my best save, but it's not my bad save.
Najka, I
Because
wonder
of
what
that
the
heavy
fuck.
armor.
That's not a good roll.
Yeah, no,
Dice are not liking me.
there is a clatter of stone and debris, and the rest of you that are behind just watch Najka vanish.
The fuck?
Fyron looks over it and like looks down and just
Actually, wait a minute. I'm standing next to Fire, and I don't know if his aura makes that better or not, or even has it. I don't know if it does.
he does not have an aura because he's a he's a sidekick, not an actual like player character paladin. He turns to
Not a side piece.
he turns to look and just looks down. He's not very clearly he doesn't know how to react because his instinct is to dive in after you, but he doesn't know where after you is. Those you behind move up quickly to look, and yeah, there's just there is what very clearly was covered by dust and debris. Just this what seems to have been like a shattered stone floor, or maybe ceiling. That
Which is
Najka
what
has
she's landed on.
dropped
Or
through.
okay.
How quickly can we take an action?
Quick enough that not quick enough to stop Najka from having fallen.
Well, but can I take an action while Najka is falling?
So
No.
soften the blow sort of thing.
I would.
It's
I would like
too
to-
short of a fall for you to
Okay.
have the
All right.
get eyes on.
Let
her
me
and
know
do
where I
anything.
end up.
So Najka, You slam into the floor painfully. You take 4 points of fall damage.
Okay.
As
so
you
bad.
land in a pile of it give me a perception check. Just actually no, what's your passive perception?
My passive perception is 14.
Okay. You land in a pile of what you initially think is like rocks and rubble. But very quickly realize that it's petrified bone. As we move over to here real quick. Da, 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 da. I'm just going to move just you over. Because you can do breakout rooms for specific people. You can see there's enough light illuminating the area that you can see quite a bit because of the hole that you fell through. You seem to have fallen into some form of catacombs that are in significant disrepair, and also that there are a pile of like petrified skeletons underneath you that you landed on.
Huh. Well, shit, she says as she sort of looks around.
Are you
Rest-
okay?
I'm feeling adventurous. I want to shove one end of a rope in Firen's hand, drop the other rope, and start sliding down it real quick.
For a second there, I heard you say, gonna get adventures. Tenebris wants to shove, and I thought a character's name was coming up.
Yeah,
next.
Yeah, I was
had-
waiting for which character got pushed in.
I was like, damn, Drev is out for it. Buckle up, motherfuckers. Jesus. This, don't get me wrong, jumping in kicks ass, but I was ready for like, well, it's time for my heel turn.
Now, all I
The
can
moment
imagine is
we've been waiting
Tenebris,
for.
because I went with Firen. All I can imagine is Tenebris trying to push Firen in, but it's like trying to push a wall.
Yeah,
Because
no,
of how
that's
small
very-
Tenebris is.
That's very good.
Firen starts and almost falls in after you because he wasn't prepared for it, but he catches himself and catches the rope and then holds it up as you actually have resistance there. The rope, yeah. How this is probably a 50-foot rope, I'm assuming, because that's the standard length of rope.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's only like 20 feet down that Najka fell. But you clamber down after Najka, and
The good goblins will go too.
Nashka looks at you as you climb down. I mean, I
There's
was
no
about
reason not to.
I was about to just throw a grappling hook up, but that works. I was going to suggest that if we feel like taking a detour, there's some shit down here.
I'm
We
sorry, I
could
missed
climb
it.
out. But
They're
we found
fine.
so many things by falling into holes.
I'm pretty
I
certain
think it
I've
would
just
be a
fallen into a
disservice.
cenotaph.
Grouper
It would
just
be a
shouts down.
disservice to ourselves to ignore a hole we fall into.
Grouper shouts
Grouper
down.
shouts down. I'm sorry, I missed it.
I
Are
think
you
they're
okay?
I think they're all
Correct.
three separate right now because we're not around other people. So they don't have to pretend to be Martin Victoria right now.
Oh, would you not have been traveling in the suit though?
Oh. Well, I guess we have to because there isn't anything with wheels to carry it.
I mean, one of you could be in it, piloting it independently, but it's not. It is not. It is not autonomous enough to move on its own. So
We're going to need a cart so that Martin Victoria can be moved about.
How far down are you?
It's like 20 feet. The rope's plenty.
I'm
Point.
gonna go with I want to leave the suit. I want to be the goblins.
I just hopped down in.
all right. Do you take the fall
Yes, I
damage?
know I'll take a tiny
I-
bit of damage.
Go,
It's
go, go.
fine. Actually,
I mean, there's a rope that
I
Firen's
don't-
holding. If you wanted to, just
yeah, but I figured somebody was already climbing down that.
fair. This is a
And she
successive
doesn't want
chain
to
of-
wait for her turn.
Successive chain of goblins going down. So you just drop down. You take 5 points of bludgeoning damage as you also land
Okay.
face first on a pile of
Ugh.
petrified skeleton.
Fire-in-law, do you think you can secure that rope and come down?
Once there's not people on it,
Meanie Manny will reach over and just sort of, probably he's at thigh height. He'll just pat your thigh and you can have your 5 points back.
Oh, me?
Yeah, sure, both of you.
Fair enough.
Grouper,
points of
are you
healing.
going down as well? And Davina?
Yeah, what's Davina doing?
Yeah, Davina's probably going down. She's waiting on Grouper though.
Look, watching the good goblins go down. Grouper goes over, cups his hands again, and says, "Hey, should we leave Martin and Victoria by themselves? I can stay up here. You want me to tell Worm?
There's nobody here. This path is all blocked off. Who's going to do anything?
I mean, there's nobody on it now.
If
Last time we
somebody
didn't.
wants to clear the path,
I'll
figure
stay.
out-
I'll
teach
stay up
themselves how to
here.
pilot the.
I'll keep an eye on the hole and on the rope, and Worm can keep me company. Fire just announces for the rest of the party so you can get on with your day.
Grouper gives a thumbs up and turns into a rat and runs down.
Do rats have a climb speed?
They don't. That is really weird.
Criminal.
They don't. Davina will offer her shoulder as she climbs down.
They do. They do have a climb speed.
Yep. All right, so you turn to a rat and head down the rope. And Davina also goes down. Yeah, and Fyron will just looks over at Martin Victoria, walks over to Martin Victoria, ties the rope to Martin Victoria, gives it a couple tugs, and just goes back down. The rope's secure. I'll stay up here and guard the exit.
Fantastic.
All right, love. Stay safe.
You're the one that fell into the bloody hole.
Yeah, but I'm in control of whether I stay safe. I can't really tell myself to do that. That's my job.
Well, then you stay safe.
I mean, were you in control?
No, you stay safe.
If you're in control of whether you're safe or not, that means you chose to fall.
Elefira.
Am I wrong?
So, looking around,
She
you
does
find
have a
yourself-
point.
Looking around, you find yourself standing on a pillar, a large pillar structure, that seems to have at one point been had several different sort of steps and stairways coming off of it, but now largely only has one and another connected by a few boards. You're standing in a pile of petrified skeletal remains that seem to have been armed and armored at one point, but the arms and
Actually,
armor
here's a
have also
question.
become stone.
As Nashka looks around, is there any lingering ether here, or has this been sitting here for so long that even the stagnant ether has faded over time?
Make an Arcana check.
What are
God,
these
there's so
words
many
we are
boats
talking
down
about?
here.
18.
Are we talking about like sending the dead? What is this? What is
Yeah,
this
like
question?
the fact that the dead have to be sent or their ether stagnates and thus monsters form. Nashka's wondering if this is a big pile of unsent dead, or if they've been
Well-
dead for so long that even that has gone away.
It's a pile of dead. We don't know that it was unsent.
I
Just
have a
because
feeling.
But remains continue to exist once, even
Yeah,
after
but looking
you
around
sent
at
them.
the corpses spread around, I have a feeling.
Yeah, I just had to. I just.
Had to say it.
It was just a requirement.
Yeah, because it's true. Just because they're about the bodies remain even after the souls are sent on, the ether is cleansed. It's entirely possible to cleanse bodies and just leave the bodies and leave them to petrify or whatever, and for there to be no ether. And that's what you think initially. But then you realize the malignant ether here is so dense that it's impossible to tell it apart from the rest of the darkened area. It's hard to tell if this place is full of malignant ether or not, but you're only able to tell by the occasional shift of like wispy like smoke in the shaded areas further away from the lack of light, further away from the central light.
Is that something
Dark-
that only she notices?
Anyone can make an Arcana check to Arcana or Religion to sort of notice this.
Purely, I want to be clear, purely for investigatory purposes. Rat Grouper is going to take a little nibble on one of the bones.
You said
Make a
Arcana
Constitution saving throw.
or
Or religion.
What comes to mind is Baldur's Gate. You licked it.
I'm a rat.
Your rat constitution is 9, so you have -1 d20 -1 plus proficiency if you're proficient in con saves.
I actually get to add my wisdom save to it now.
Hey.
So
If the goblins notice, Gesby's getting out her flute.
Yeah, you all notice that there is just this. Those of you that rolled, anyways. I don't know if Davina is rolling.
Oh, sorry. Thought I did. There you go.
You all notice this sense of, except for Gruber who didn't roll. Well, the 14.
Plague.
You feel
Plague the rat.
you bite, your teeth clink, and it hurts because you're biting into stone. Yet you do distinctly now feel a bit of like sluggishness to the rat's physical movement. It's
Oh
weird.
my god, you guys don't eat the bones.
no shit.
Anyone that looks down at the rat, what kind of rat did you turn into, Gerber? What color would you say the rat is?
like sort of just a grayish brown.
Okay. You notice that there's a bit of gray flaking that has appeared around the rat's like hind legs. That doesn't seem to be fur.
I don't like any of this.
Grouper, I'm gonna need
Grouper,
you to not
switch
be
back.
petrified right the
Switch
fuck now.
back.
I need you to not.
Switch back before I kick you against the wall, so you have to switch back.
Do I have a sense of whether conditions like that transfer with form changes?
You don't know. You've never tested it.
Oh, Gesby is playing music. Just FYI.
I'm looking it up right now because I don't know.
I really don't want to lose my wild shape if I don't have to.
Tiny rat statue. Let's go.
That's actually a good question. I have no
We'll
idea.
display it in a place of honor.
Forever. Yeah, I don't know yet. I don't, that was a really good question. I'm looking it up now.
Do you want me to research it while you're doing other stuff?
Doing other stuff is going to determine whether or not you turn back from being a rat that's about to be petrified is going to influence the other stuff that I can do. So I kind of need to do this now. Actually, here's what we'll do. We'll take a break. Hey, everyone that's
It's a
watching.
good plan.
It's a good place. It's a good place to take a break while I look
Gesby's-
up rules on conditions.
Gesby's song.
We'll get back. We'll come back to that as soon as we come back from our break. Don't worry. I'm not just type it in chat. We won't forget. Gesby pulled out a flute and began to play because there's an effect for that.
Yep.
Because this is not. We'll find out.
I was planning to describe it.
Well, you can describe it. Bring it back.
You'll get there.
You'll get there. It's okay. It's not gone. It's not lost. It's just delayed slightly. Remember when we take our break, you take your break. So stand up, stretch your legs, move around, do whatever you need to do. and we'll be back in just a few minutes.
in it. It's great.
We're back. A dinosaur story. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. I actually didn't mean to click there, Jeremy, while you were talking, but my finger slipped and I clicked on the button. That's it.
No, you're good. You're good.
I wondered 100% thought you did that to get us back on track.
No,
because there wasn't going to be another way to do it.
No, my finger slipped. I genuinely didn't. Anyways, but we're back. So several things are happening right now. We already had a failed Constitution save and a threat to punt a rat. Meanwhile, on the other side of the group, Gesby had pulled out her flute. What is Gesby doing, Jack?
Gesby's trying to. Gesby, we are unclear whether or not there is stuff to send because of the atmosphere of this place. So she's sending, and she's just playing a slow, sad song.
Right, give me
and
religion or performance.
Sort of
check.
playing with the acoustics of the place because I bet there's a heckin' awesome echo.
Mm-hmm. So go ahead and get religion or performance check.
All right, let's see.
You have proficiency with the flute, and by 2024 rules, that means you would have advantage on this roll. So make it with advantage.
Nice. Also, Meanie Manny's going to cast a spell.
What spell is
religion or performance? Performance. I have a +10 to that. I like +10.
So, what spells? What spell is Meanie Manny casting?
Oh, protection from poison.
Okay. On himself or?
No, on the rat.
So the music begins to play, and it's a beautiful melody that definitely would send any lingering ether on to the beyond. And as it bounces off the far stone walls of this collapsed place, you watch as the sort of like thinly visible mist that occupies this place royals in response in a way you've never seen ether behave in response to ascending.
Almost like it's angry.
The air grows red as it ripples in response, and the sound that comes back as you catch the echo is warped and distorted, like it was somebody playing through a broken flute or through a bent flute. It doesn't sound right, and you're pretty certain it didn't work.
Can I make a roll to try to interpret that?
Yeah, Arcana or religion. And while you're making that roll, Grouper, another con save as you can't move.
Oh, sorry, I'm a rat.
That's okay. Don't kick me. I'm actually better like this. Hold on. I'm just gonna.
And he just kind of.
The foot is back and is prepared, but I am not kicking yet.
And Davina
Get poked by a goblin.
14 is successful.
You
yes, you can pick him up.
That is a 17.
You can feel as you pick up. You can feel that his paws are hardening, and he doesn't seem able to move. But you can pick him up.
All right. Yeah, she scoops him up in her hands.
I'm assuming poison didn't do anything.
Yeah, protection from poison didn't seem to do anything. That's one success. One success, one failure on Gerber. With a 10 Arcana from Gesby. You're not sure what that is, but it's like the ether is alive in more than the sense that it is the essence of life. It's like it has a sapience or a sentience of its own, and it doesn't want to go. So
it's like it's fighting back.
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep playing because if it's fighting back, maybe me fighting it would help.
Possibly. Go ahead and make another roll with advantage. Another performance or religion check with advantage. Grouper, another con save.
If I drop a form and is it a I can't ever remember. Is it a bonus action to drop a form, free action, or an action?
Let's see. You are a Circle of the Moon druid, right?
Oh no, it's a bonus action still. You can leave the form early as
Okay.
a bonus action. So that doesn't do me any good. I can't do both. I can't do 2 bonus actions in a turn. All right, I'm just gonna go again. Almost certainly would want to spend an inspiration on this. Yeah, I
That
would like to spend
one.
an inspiration on that natural
Go
one.
ahead, roll again.
Well,
All right. That is a
goodbye,
second,
everybody.
That's a second failure, as some of the gray flecks that are on the hindquarters of the rat begin to coalesce and solidify.
Grouper.
Oh,
Davina
it's got to
will,
be a triggering creature.
And
Davina
that
will
doesn't
just
work.
succeeded.
Okay.
Yeah.
Davina will just whisper, Grouper, please don't leave me.
Trying real hard, okay? I'm trying real hard. Listen,
Quickly, Gatsby, you're having trouble talking. By the way, it's starting to stutter, and like you're still able to talk, but it's coming through harder. Gatsby, with a 13 on performance check, it seems to be reacting more the longer you're playing, and not positively.
I've got.
Then she'll stop for the moment until she can get feedback from the rest of the group.
Jerry.
All right, I've got a real fucking bad idea, and feel free to vote me down, but it might be easier to raise than it is to unstone.
I don't know anyone who has the ability to raise the dead nearby. Depetrification might be easier.
From who?
I can lesser
Fucking
restoration
Martin.
if we can wait till tomorrow.
All right. Say if you can switch back to uniform, I'm pretty sure that we can kill you in one turn.
I'm giving Grouper has one more roll, right?
Even if Grouper drops out of rat form, Grouper still has the temporary hit points that the rat form gave him. So
I will note you can wild shape while in a wild shape. You can choose to shift from one animal form to another.
Grouper, take a bardic inspiration for the next roll.
which you can.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Is that a D8?
D6. I should have done it sooner.
That is all good. I appreciate that.
It's hard to keep track of all of the things I can do.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
Fair.
You're a multi-class with 3 bodies.
I have spells.
Yeah.
Spells are hard.
Yes, they
Why
are.
did you do this to yourself?
Because I don't have an answer.
Yeah, you can wild shape into something else that has a better con without having to go back to human form.
Let me look.
Yeah, you stay in that form for a number of hours equal to half your druid level, or until you use wild shape again, have the incapacitated condition, or die. You can also leave the form early as a bonus action.
Yeah, no, you can use it again. It wouldn't have separated out that you can leave it as a bonus action if you couldn't. So,
Right.
Right.
would you like to shift to?
Sure. Okay, so
A beast with a bigger back.
yeah, most of mine are not high con forms, so
I'm shocked. Shocked.
I don't have a lot that's high con yet.
Any of
The
has a
consideration.
positive con at least.
Yeah, at least.
The other consideration is something that we can actually carry you in.
I mean, the rat can be carried in. This thing.
Yeah, that's the issue.
Yeah,
If I turn
it's
it-
easy to carry a rat.
If I turn into something big, you got to leave me down here.
A fair point.
We can't do anything about that.
Hold on.
If you turn into something big, they just have to construct an elevator around you to lift you out. That's all.
Man, are there not stats
Nosh,
for
are you
turtles?
good at elevators?
I can build just about anything given time and resources.
There
Turtle? I don't
there are
think
stats for turtles. They're just higher CR than you.
No, I mean just
there are
a
stats
turtle.
for giant
No.
turtles. We're looking for normal turtle.
No.
We're looking for I like turtles.
Yeah, the closest thing you got is a giant snapping turtle.
turn it into a badger.
Badger does in fact not care.
So
+3 con too. Yeah.
Grouper says, "Okay, I'm gonna try one more thing." And then it sort of the rat like expands.
It's a little
color
it's
shifts.
a little weird because the rat expands only in the places that aren't already petrified.
Ooh.
Body horror.
Half rat, half badger monstrosity.
Yes.
All right, here we go.
Also, this hurts, Grouper.
Yeah, I would guess.
You've never had changing into a wild shape hurt before.
All right, so this is a D20 plus 7.
Good thing you didn't try to turn into a squid.
23.
All right, that's 2 successes. You got 2 successes, 2 failures. The next one's going to be the determinant. You do still have bardic inspiration, so.
Yep.
And I can give you another one. I've got more.
Well, you only spend one at a time. You only have one at a time.
Yeah, but you didn't. Why didn't you spend one on that?
Because they rolled high enough on this.
Because I
one, they don't
rolled
need it.
23, I didn't need to.
Yeah.
So.
I have a lot. I can give them all to you.
I know, but you get to decide when to use it after the roll.
Are you using that
Yeah,
channel divinity
okay.
now, or are you waiting, Jack?
Vaguely now-ish, but we don't have to resolve it right now if
Okay.
we're busy dealing with the petrification.
So, last roll in one way or the other.
If this doesn't work, I want y'all to know that I'm going to roll the D6.
Okay.
Actually, I don't need to, right? I know that's high enough.
Yeah, that's high enough. As you're in the middle of making the statement, you feel the badger's natural resilience towards effects like this kick through, and something inside the badger snaps, as does the stone, restricting the wild shape as the bits of stone explode out, scattering pebbles across Davina as the wild shape completes, and you are now fully a badger with no stone rat left behind.
Oh, thank you, fucking idiot!
What
No
did you
rat
know?
left behind.
That I definitely shouldn't have licked the bones, and I will lick Davina's cheek.
Davina, make a Constitution saving throw.
No!
Oh my gosh!
Amazing.
Davina, you feel something has affected you when the badger licked your face. You're resilient to it at the moment, though, but
Group, don't.
Oh, wait. Are you okay?
Yeah,
another Constitution saving throw.
something weird.
Okay, we gotta find something else for me to lick. I can turn things to stone. I'm a basiladger.
Oh God.
You moron!
Wash your fucking mouth out, maybe. Try that.
I'm a badger. No.
Another con save, Davina. You have to succeed 3 con saves.
I'm gonna
I'm gonna
kill
give
him.
you can have a bardic too.
1 failure on the second one.
Unless,
Mm.
unless,
wait,
unless
now
they
you-
can use that bardic
Now
inspiration.
it wasn't said until the roll was made, so now you've got a bardic.
No, I was saying it in response to you saying the second roll. I didn't.
Yeah.
It's not my fault she clicked the button fast.
Okay,
I'm
you
sorry.
can roll a d6
Wait, I can roll d6.
for bardic inspiration.
Okay. Four.
2 successes. All right.
Okay.
Third roll.
Tenebrous sidles
I have
over
another
to
one.
Alfira.
Right.
So you have that alchemist. If we bring these bones back, do you think they can turn them into potions of petrification?
Wait, did you say another roll?
Yeah,
Yeah,
one more roll.
another bardic.
Okay. Do I roll then do the 1d6?
You can roll con save and then choose afterwards after you know the result.
Okay.
Yes,
I
you
choose.
want
I
to use it now.
Roll d6.
If you have an inspiration, you may need that in a minute too.
Yeah, actually,
I do have an inspiration.
I would use that because I don't think that's going to do it. I think it's
Well,
Would you like to use your inspiration?
Yes.
To be fair, you
Roll the
only
con save again.
you have to fail 3 saves or succeed 3 saves.
Yeah, we're still
You've-
not.
And
We're
this is
still
the
not
first
fucked
failure.
yet.
Okay, so 15 I think it should be, I believe
Fif-
was good enough.
15 is enough. Yes. So you're good. Three
Okay.
successes.
Okay.
You
Ah.
there's a little bit of stone where the badger licked you, a little bit of like petrified flesh that crumbles away after you push the disease out of your body.
How about we not do that again?
Grouper, she gives you her look of death.
You're either you're muted or
I'm
you're
not
not
talking.
saying anything.
I'm not talking. Grouper's just doing weird badger mouth stuff. Not you. My dog's name is Badger. He got
Weird
very
badger
excited
mouth
for a
stuff.
little bit here.
Meanie
Manny.
Mm.
You use your divine sense channel divinity.
Yeah. Because this is like, I'm wondering if the undead portion of it will, the ether will trigger that, given that it comes from dead people.
You're not sensing any sort of undeath. You are getting a noxious sulfuric odor that is dense in this place, which puts you in mind of a fiend. This whole place smells like a fiend's locker room.
Divine sense would also let me know if there's something.
You're not getting the location of any fiend within 60 feet. It's just
the sense of fiendishness.
there is fiendish ether in the dense in this place. And it is concentrated in the bones beneath your feet as well.
Meanie Manny will relay that.
Should we just leave, or?
I mean, we might want to mark this place for further investigation later because I don't much like it being on our road to Stilben.
Right.
But maybe we're not ready to deal with this right the fuck now.
No.
Yeah, I would say
Don't
let's
like
climb
it
let's
being
climb
next
out
to
of here
home
and come back
base.
later.
Based on how far you've traveled, this is roughly this hole opened up roughly halfway between along the mountain road between your bastion and Stilben.
Yeah, I'm of a mind to come back later.
Is there
Agreed.
another path that we've been using to
You've been
keep in
bringing
contact with-
you've been bringing supplies in via ship.
Okay. So we can assume that that's what's going to continue happening once we leave, and
Yeah.
people aren't going to start trying to use this path and get eaten
No.
by fiends.
No, this place is so untraveled that they might try to use the path, but not regularly and not for any major incoming commerce or anything like that.
I think it would be a good idea to bring the bones with us. Maybe we can learn something about it.
I mean, I've got a bag of holding. I can take a sample.
Be real careful.
I'm not taking my gloves off, so
Don't lick them.
Yeah,
wasn't
we
going
figured
to.
that one out.
Can I-
Thank you.
Can I make I don't think I will succeed, but can I make a religion roll to see if I know about any connection between demons and bones that cause petrification?
Sure, go ahead and give me a religion check.
I lean into
Oh.
lean in close
That
to
didn't need to
Davina and
be-
say quietly, "This is what I was talking about."
That didn't need to be with
She
advantage.
just nods.
Apologies.
That's all right. 19.
Nashka will, before she puts a piece of the bone into the bag of holding, she's been standing on these and not getting affected. So she's pretty certain as long as she doesn't touch it with bare skin, she's fine.
Yeah.
But
Maybe
she
it's a
is
At
saliva
least
going
doesn't lick it.
Yeah. But she is going to like she's gonna see how simple the contact is, and she's just gonna pull out a piece of her rations, like just a piece of hardtack bread, and just pick up a bone and just touch one to the other and see if it does anything.
Doesn't seem to do anything.
Cool. Toss the hardtack away. Don't need to hold on to that just in case.
Yeah.
And then shove that bone into the bag of holding.
So you reach out and you grab a piece of bone, and as you pick up, a large chunk of the mound underneath you tries to come with it.
As in, it's still like fused together, or
Yeah.
as in it starts moving and tries to
No,
attack?
no, as in it's fused together.
Oh, okay. I was certain.
Okay, so she's like, drink up. Okay.
Chip it
Takes the
off.
hammer, just crunches it off.
The hammer strikes. No fracture.
That's new.
Pinarist pulls out his crowbar and tries to help.
Try to help.
Try.
No amount of force is separating this bone from the rest of the stone.
She lifts to see what all is being pulled out here.
You're not able to lift all of it because you're standing on part of it, but it seems like there's like a half dozen corpses that are all one contiguous piece of stone.
Back up for a second.
Yeah.
What does
Yes,
mouth
that.
taste like?
Badger.
Okay.
Now she's gonna see if she can separate this contiguous pile and see what happened to these bodies.
Did a 19 give me anything?
Sorry, I'm still too many questions. Uh, 19 religion check.
Yeah.
Nothing that you can think of innately connects to this, which means either it's a minor idol that might be having some sort of effect like this, or it could be a side effect of something else. But nothing ticks your nothing.
But it's not.
Nothing triggers
It's
you as
not
like
primary and
innately.
thus will not help us
Yeah.
identify the fiend.
Yeah. Nothing I did. Yeah, nothing strikes you as like this is the classic track of this of so and so kind of thing. Everyone's stepping away from the mound a little bit, and you start pulling, and it's a good. It looks like it's hard to tell because there's not a lot of detail left because it's all skeletons, but it does look kind of like several people like sort of fell onto each other at the same time, or maybe were in a pile already when the petrification set in, and just bits of the bodies, the contiguous bodies, intermingled in the petrification, and they're just stuck together.
But it doesn't look like it was an intentional construction or anything.
It's like a human statupede, if you will.
Yeah.
I hate that.
So
I won't.
she'll set that pile aside and just try and find a loose bone to
Human statue P.
Give me an
No.
give me an investigation check.
I'm rescinding my bardic.
Listen,
Petrify yourself.
I do not need
26.
to be reminded of any portion of those movies, of which I've seen all three.
Oh,
Hey, you
I'm
have
just,
my-
I'm just singing the Tom
Interestingly,
Carney
there are
song.
exactly.
Yeah.
You have my most
it's-
sincere condolences.
Interestingly, there are exactly 3 portions of a human centipede. Anyways, with the 26, yes, you're able to find like a bit of one body that seemed to have broken off at some point that you can shove in the bag.
We'll study that later. Let's get the fuck out of here. As Nashka starts to climb.
What is
Alright.
the architecture like?
Give me a history check for an architecture roll. Unless you have masonry tool proficiency.
Actually, I can make that roll as well because I have stone cunning.
Just a 7.
7, old and crumbly.
I would like to do that as well.
Sure,
Hang on.
go ahead.
I'm distracted by my tongue.
Plus an extra 3, so 19.
19. it's not particular. You look around, it doesn't evoke any given architectural styling that pops to mind. You imagine this is probably a discrete location, not like a cultural thing. It might have been an individual person's home or like structure or something,
This
which
does
is
not look
odd
like a
because
home.
it's architecturally it's definitely some sort of like labyrinth
or keep or some
or
kind of
keep.
fortress.
Some, but like aesthetically, it doesn't match it doesn't have any like cultural indicators or anything like that.
Possibly a lone wizard's fortress or something.
Maybe, yeah.
Some mad mage.
It may be the dungeon of some mad mage or another.
This place doesn't belong to any one stoneworking culture that I've ever heard of.
It probably belongs to the fiend.
It's possible. I mean,
Says Meanie Manny, misinterpreting what you mean by that.
oh no, I mean like the stonework doesn't look like it comes from anywhere that I recognize. This isn't Craghammer work. This isn't traditional old Zan Taldore's construction.
It definitely doesn't look like the construction of the keep that y'all built took over as your bastion either. So
Yeah, it's not even the same kind of stonework as the keep that we took over.
That's all fascinating. We're not moving quick enough for my tastes.
Yeah, let's get the fuck out of here.
all right, you all climb back out onto the road.
We're not going back there until we've got ready access to cures for petrification, right?
Correct.
Cool.
Well, as far as I'm concerned.
I agree. Again, I'm sorry, everybody. I really thought I was helping. Plus, I've never, been a rat near that many bones before. It's kind of overwhelming. I'm sorry.
I thought they were just old.
Yeah. I thought I was helping find out what happened.
Counterpoint. We come back before we have a cure to petrification, so we can mark where this is and actually like.
Oh no, I'm
Make
marking
it
where it is
safe.
now. Nashka says as she's like making like a makeshift road sign that just indicates stay away, danger, do not enter, and is pulling out her map so that she can mark where it is on the map.
How many
To be
bones did you
fair,
take?
you did help us figure out what was going on, because before you did that, I would not have guessed that it was a petrification curse or whatever. That wasn't
Sure.
on my radar.
I appreciate that. I mean, I do have, ways to detect arcane workings other than biting them. So again, thank you, but still very much my bad.
Yeah.
How many bones did we get?
Just a couple pieces. I wasn't going to try and take like a whole skeleton.
Could you try, if we get into, bad situation or whatever, could you
Beating
try
someone with one of them? Yes, that might come to mind.
Yeah, or just, shoving it down their throat, that kind of thing.
Maybe you can build it into a weapon.
I might be able to, but first I want to know what the fuck it is before I even try.
There.
I could. There's a shake, and then Grouper resumes his natural form. I could sit if we got a little time before we get back on the road. We got 10 minutes or so. I could try to figure out what's going on with it.
I mean, I like that idea, but I also like doing that idea not anywhere near this fucking hole and anything that might crawl up out of it.
Also fair. Is anybody still injured?
No, I believe Meanie Manny just offered lay on hands to the two that
Yeah.
called him.
Okay.
I was just trying to think if anybody took any hit point damage since then, but I don't think so. It was just
It was just
saves.
petrification. Yeah.
So I legitimately missed that was offered, and I feel like in
Well, Meanie
Ella's
Manny just did
emotional.
it.
Okay, perfect. That's totally
It wasn't
fine.
offered. He just reached out, put a hand on your thigh, and you were better.
That's fine. Probably didn't even notice.
All right, let's get
Soon as-
like 10 minutes away from here, and then we'll stop for about 10 minutes and try and identify some bones.
soon as we're out, Ella is just walking in the direction we were going.
Davina is right with her.
Ella? Are you okay?
I'm fine.
You don't look fine.
I'm fine.
You're not convincing me.
I don't care.
You're being a bit of a brat. We're continuing our poor habits.
I'm trying
Like-
to be reasonable right now.
Far be it from me to be the one to say this because I do love drama, but maybe right now is not the time.
That's what I'm trying to do.
I know what I just said, but now I want to know even more.
Let's leave the conversation for now and come back to this later when
Thank
we're
you.
not anywhere near this place.
Walking, I'm walking, I'm walking.
Waka waka
Is
walking.
just keeping pace with you.
Oh wait, no, that's better. That's much better.
Yeah,
So I was trying to find a
Nashka
marker
will-
for the. There we go.
Oh, for the bone site,
Yeah.
for the bone zone.
For the bones.
Oh God.
No! Unacceptable!
Holy shit.
There we go. Absolutely. Absolutely. Perfect.
Yes, excellent. 100%.
Ready.
Oh, the name tag's not showing up.
No, the name tag's there. I see it.
Oh,
I
it's-
see
It's
it.
not showing up for me. Weird.
That's because you're being punished for your sins.
Oh, I can see it over there. That's fine. Yes, bone zone.
The sin being putting the word bone zone on the map.
There we go.
Exactly.
Hey, I just went with the first name that sounded good. So
I disagree.
you get a little ways away. You're not going all the way so in there. You get a little ways away from the bone zone. And sit down to figure things out. What are you doing?
Yeah, Nashka will set out some of the bones and just be like, all right, dude, what if you think you
It's
can do
it's
your
one
thing?"
solid chunk of like arm.
Yeah. If you think you can identify that, give it a shot.
Yeah, when we have time, I will ritual cast detect magic.
This is the time that you have to do so. Your ritual cast detect magic. Let me look at what detect magic shows you.
I can tell if something's magic, and if I take an action to concentrate on it, I can tell it's school.
At what level do I get to use identify? Hang on a second.
Not for a little bit. I don't think.
I have to get to level 9 to get to eye for quality.
All right. You do not. You sense a magical effect from the bones, but it does not. It does not feel like, a spell.
Okay.
And Dust does not have a school.
Correct.
So I pass that along.
All right, well, it's something at least.
I don't think it was intrinsically caused by the fiend either.
All right, well, we'll keep all this in mind, and if we meet someone who might know more, we can ask them.
I'm gonna write to Father Martin.
That's probably legitimately helpful, yes. All right, let's keep moving and actually make it to the road and see if we can get a caravan to Western. We keep going.
That
Grouper, have you cleaned your mouth out yet?
I mean, since he turned back, yeah, absolutely. I mean, he's routinely sponging himself down with water he's pulling out. So yeah.
So you've used that water to rinse out your mouth, and
Yeah.
when you did that, sort of like black and like almost like black, like visually looks like black mold came out of your mouth with the water.
I will double down on my cleansing.
will you let anybody know that that happened?
When I come back, I'm not gonna go, hey guys, you gotta come over and see what came out of my mouth. No, but
I just feel like that sounds like that sounds like something that should be nature rolled for, because like there are weird oozes and molds
Yeah,
and
feel free.
things.
Anyone wants to, feel free to give a nature
It's-
check. Nature or medicine.
Yeah, that seems worthwhile.
As the player, I feel like if I had time to hang out with Byron, I would roll medicine.
21 on nature.
Not only am I bad at both, I don't think Ella's going over to that anyways, because that puts her in proximity
Well, you
to
can make a roll just
people
from
that she
understanding.
will start screaming at.
Having been told about it, you can make the roll to think about it without having to look
Okay.
at it.
That's about right.
That
That's
tracks.
about right. Yep. Najka and Tenebris and Grouper and Davina. You're not sure what this is specifically, but it does tell you that whatever the effect is probably a disease of some kind, which would be why it spread to Davina after Grouper licked her.
All right, so protections from disease might be helpful here. And
Tenebris gathers some sticks and leaves and that, puts them on the spot where he spit, and then sets it on fire.
yeah, just burns it.
Yes.
Yeah, I can do that for you. Nachka says that she just
So
holds up a
you-
finger and just lights it, and
so
just the
you-
flame lights on the end of her hand.
So you aerosolize it. No. You do not have to make a con save. It would be funny, though, if it was that kind of thing.
No, it
Not all
wouldn't.
diseases can be aerosolized.
Not all can, but fiend diseases. Anyways,
Are you saying that this is the place where a fiend went to get, when he was sick, to get bed rest and drink some chicken noodle soup? Is that what we ran into?
you don't know.
Fiend leper colony.
I mean, no, the disease might have just come from the fiend and
Fiendish
spread
le-
across the entire place.
Fiendish
Yeah,
leprosy.
come from the fiend because the fiend is sick.
I mean, or just because that's a disease the fiend carries to inject people on purpose.
So obviously you
No,
all need to.
No, it's not that.
You all
We're
need to
pretty sure it's not that.
find this fiend and get it some chicken noodle soup. And
I mean-
Yeah.
nurse it back to health.
Let's not discount the possibility that, like, we did name it the Bone Zone, that this is just like a Marilys STD. This is just like pit fiend gonorrhea.
Succubus
Yeah, but
says
we're
she's
pretty-
gonna get.
we're pretty
Succubus
sure
says
it
she's gonna
isn't-
get you hard, but not this way.
We're pretty sure it isn't something that the fiend creates on purpose, because I did.
Well, to be clear, you're
I did
certain that
make
it's
rolls
not.
about
You're
that.
certain that it's not like. You're certain that it's not like a core aspect of the
Yeah.
whatever it's originally to, which is to say,
If it's
not.
something the fiend created, then it's
it's not.
It's not a fiend of petrification disease.
Yes, yeah. It's not like the fiend is a fiend of petrification or the demon lord of petrification or anything like that. This is a side effect of something powerful enough to have that effect, but it's not what they're known for.
So it still could have been intentional, just not like the thing that they are particularly identified by.
You did, yes. You didn't. As far as you're, it doesn't seem, as far as you're aware, that this is the realm of Simon Demon Lord Petrification Specialist. This is.
There is also like a 50-50 chance that Pit Lord Gonorrhea is already a black metal band.
Probably pretty good odds, yeah.
Let's come back to this at a later date when we've got proper protections from diseases in general and petrification in specific.
Proper protection from Pit Lord Gonorrhea.
Is there a can we tell if a psychic link is up?
Not if you're not in one.
No, I mean if we're in one. Can we tell if we're in a psychic link or not?
Only if someone's talking in your brain.
Vina?
There's not a psychic link up with you right now.
Okay, all right.
She is about to set one up with Ella, but not Grouper.
Then
I do love how which of the two of you Davina likes changes moment to moment.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh yeah, she's a child of divorce. She
Yeah,
goes
yeah,
back
yeah,
and forth
100%.
between Mom and Dad, yeah.
So Grouper will then out loud go. Vina?
You just hear kind of a grunt.
I'm real sorry.
Team Rocket's attacking.
What?
You're kind of a grunt. Team Rocket's attacking. A Team Rocket grunt. Anyway, keep going.
Just, I was happy I wasn't turned into stone anymore, and I didn't think it was sticking around in my mouth. And I'm sorry. Is your cheek okay?
She just nods and turns away from you.
All right, it lets it go.
And then Ella will just hear in her head, "You want to help me kill him?"
Careful what you wish. No.
The pause in response is a little bit longer than you expected.
I'm just saying. Remember how I said?
I know what you said. Okay?
What you say?
It's fine. You're okay?
I'm okay.
All right.
He's gonna get himself killed because first the sea dragon and now this. All right. Are you okay?
I'm great.
Okay.
I'm just fucking peachy.
We believe you.
Well, that's all psychically.
I know.
Oh,
Yeah, I
But I
assumed that
have
was
to peanut gallery.
Yes.
It's another voice in the head. That's all Davina
It's
wanted to
great.
do there.
It's
Just
fine.
check on Ella.
God, and
Yep.
now I'm just thinking, like, if you were a system with telepathic bond, would all the alters be able to talk as if you were one person?
Oh. That's a good question.
I think it depends system to system.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it does. Yeah, absolutely.
I'm just really interested now to take the theoretical mechanics of this and apply it to someone that has that is a system and just sort of see what happens. Anyways, because I can have multiple voices in my head simultaneously. So, telepathic bond. could I disguise my voice in my head as 3 different people? I don't know. Anyways. Anything else
Yep.
before you move on?
I'm good.
I'm good too.
You erect a sign for the bone zone, and continue on.
Stay out. This is the bone zone.
And eventually you arrive back in Stillben after quite a bit of a trek. But no further pits that do you find. Davina, along the way, do you take the time to wash your face or anything?
Yes.
Okay. You also find when you do that there's this like black mold like substance that you couldn't see until you washed it off. That came off with the water.
Yeah, similarly, once the realization about that disease as it spreads goes,
I think everybody takes a bath.
yeah. Well, Nashka specifically is going to wash her boots and gloves, which are the only things that ever came in contact with the bones.
More black mold like substance that is invisible until you wash it off.
Yeah, no, just baths all around.
Yeah, anything that came into contact with anything down there needs to be washed.
I'm just using create water like a pressure sprayer on everybody.
Yes.
Yeah, that works.
Ideal.
Yourself as well?
That's
Yeah, absolutely.
All right.
yeah. That
Well,
I
seems like an
landed on
ideal
those
thing.
things face first.
Well, as you prepare to head into Stillben looking like you've all just participated in a wet t-shirt contest, that's where we're going to end for this week. Say bye, everybody.
Bye.
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 Goodbye.
Goodbye.